Okay, now the topic for this morning time is the ideology of America paying its past trauma and the bloody history of this country. So we're going to be in the topic for this morning time. We're going to be talking about any standpoint or any talking point or any measure against reparations. What are the talking pieces that they seem to always use in any conversation about reparation? And we're going to use your boy as prime target for today because he got all the talking points that they use. The far left, the far right, racist, not racist, black Americans, white people, all of that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to break it all the way down real quick of any talking point that they would use to stand against reparations. Your boy Charlie, he got it. He one of them people.
Haiti or Nigeria?
I do not.
Okay, what is the black community? So, for example, do you mean like recent immigrants from Haiti or Nigeria?
I do not. No.
Now, he know damn well we talking about African-American people whose owe reparations that are the descendants of slaves. He know damn well that other countries of black people who came to America start flooding this country in the 1960s. Probably 1965 is when they allowed other black people to come to this country. So he know damn well we talking about the descendants of slaves. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, for sure. So you're meaning like ancestral descendants of slaves.
Correct.
That could be proven with documentation.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay. So to be consistent, do you believe that other groups that have been mistreated in America should also receive reparations?
What are those?
What other group in America besides from the Japanese and the concentration camps and what was it, war? What war was it? It was a war in the 80s. That was World War I. They was incarcerated and they was given reparations. Who you talking about? The Native Americans who get money every single month from this government. I have seen personal Native American checks that they get from the government. Who else you talking about?
Well, they're not necessarily by America, but let's just take one. Jewish Americans, right? Okay. They almost got eliminated in the Holocaust. Should they receive reparations?
Jewish people get paid reparations from the German people. Everybody knows that. In fact, not only did Germany have to pay restitution and reparations to the Jewish people, they actually get reparations checks from that point all the way till now. So it's been 40 to 45 years that they have been getting reparations checks from the German people. And not only do the Germans pay reparations, they actually taught the proper history of what they people did to those people, a form of repentance.
Not from us.
Okay, not from us.
Not from the United States, that is.
Okay, so here's my view, and I want to hear yours,
okay,
which is that I did not own slaves, and you were not a slave.
Correct.
Right, so we are individuals, and therefore we cannot be held accountable or should receive something from something that didn't happen to us or something we did not do.
That's a lie right there, because every single war that we fight, we pay for it. Anytime your government wants to feel sorry for another country and build them up, we pay for it. I didn't build that country. I never lived in that country. I never went over there with an army and destroyed that country, but we still paid nonetheless. So what are you talking about?
That is a basic law of justice, that I can't be held accountable for something that somebody looked like me did, and you should not benefit.
Why do white people get so in focus on themselves to where they think that this is a direct attack against them and their money? We're talking about the United States of America. And unless you are the United States of America, you shouldn't feel any type of way at all. Because that's the first thing they go, oh, I wasn't slaves. I didn't own no slaves, but everybody's been affected by this. Good, bad, tall, small, smart, dumb. Everybody's been affected by what's been done to our ancestors in this country. And to say that black folks don't suffer post-traumatic slave syndrome when there was no amends of healing on black people, that would be just a injustice, an unfair, and a crime.
From something that somebody you were related to. Now, you'll probably say systemic racism and how that passed down to generations. Happy to address that. The problem with reparations, though, is basically what you're saying is, I'm going to take money from Charlie Kirk for something he didn't do and give it to a group of...
See, there it goes again. You know what I'm saying? There it goes again. White America feels like it's a direct assault and attack on their money. You are not America. You don't speak for America. You live in America. You are American tax-paying citizens. So how can you sit up there and speak for a whole country that you don't own? That's not your identity. You got your personal identity, your social security, your birth certificate. You yourself is not the country of America. Okay, keep on going.
To somebody of something they also didn't do. For what reason? How is that just?
So not so much how is it just, but there are those...
If you don't want to fight for America, get your ass out of America. If you don't want to pay for America, get your ass out of America. If you don't want to stand for America, and I'm talking to anybody that's opposed to paying reparations, you can get yourself out of America. You really can. You don't have to live here. You don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to do any of those things. But what you can do is find another country if you're not going to support America's plight.
That says, because of what happened in the past, this group of people have been negatively affected from this nation's crimes against humanity to that certain group of people. And that's how we see it, or how some people see it, if you will.
Okay, sure, but I will say that even if there is some truth to that, which I wouldn't even be willing to grant very much, because Black America was doing incredibly well before the not incredible, they were picked.
This is the same man that'll sit up there and say that black people was doing good in slavery. You think we want to hear that? He would actually sit up there and say black people was better off enslaved in America than actually being free, given a God-given right, their sovereignty to be free. He would say that.
Even richer than white America, is that we must look through the question of, is it just and moral to take from one group, especially first and second generation immigrants had nothing to do with this. So think about it. Your tax base would be taxing
then they never should have came over here to America. Any person that come to America, you inherit the debt of wherever you live in. If I get up and I go live in Mexico, I don't even know the cartel, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be facing the cartel with me moving to Mexico. You inherit whatever debt of whatever the country that you migrate to.
Anyone here is Irish or Polish and your family came 100 years ago, we would be taxing people that had nothing to do with it. And I'll go a step further. My family fought on the Union side of the Civil War, right? So you're going to be taxing Charlie Kirk, whose descendants fought to free the slaves, to go give money to people that were descended, from slaves. So what is a way that we could try to help all communities? Here's maybe we can find some common ground, right?
Listen.
Instead of reparations.
Sure.
Is that we need to break the cartel of public sector teacher unions, allow school choice to occur, and make it easier.
What America needs to do, after all these different presidents that take reign here in America, and they always have some type of stimulus package for Americans to stimulate the economy. If you truly want to stimulate this country, you will pay back the money that is owed to the descendants of slaves, and that will stimulate the hell out of this economy, because all of those billions of dollars will be poured back into America.
People of all backgrounds, but specifically Hispanic and Black individuals and young kids to have a quality education, because a good education in K through 12 is one of the most assured ways that they'll be able to succeed later in life. Secondly, we need to put fathers back in the home.
Yeah, I agree with that.
70% of Black kids are raised without a stable father in the country. So if we can find common ground on that, I think that would go a lot further than just giving
If that's not the kettle calling the kettle black. You sit up there and you plan and you devise and you attack black people and you talk about, oh, there's no black mans in the homes, but you attack the black family. The black family has been under attack by America, and it's been proven. You could go and look at the files when the FBI flooded all the hoods with crack cocaine. We didn't do that, but our government was under attack of us. So how can you attack a person and then tell them, well, you need to go to the doctor? but I can't help you. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you start a problem and you start something and you benefit from it, and then the person is like, hey, you stole all my money, and there's nothing that you could do about it. That's what it sounds like. It sounds crooked.
For people that happen to be related to something evil that happened a little while ago.
What's going on, man? Doing all right. Welcome to Knoxville. I'm up here for one purpose. My buddy is a friend of yours. He lives up in White Pine, and he wants me to have this discussion with you because me and him had this discussion this weekend.
Now, all the talking points that he used on the paid restitution, reparations to so-called African Americans that live in this country was weak. I'm just wondering, you know what I'm saying, with all the think tanks that they got, that they pulled together, all them people with all that money, and that's the best that they could say, that's the best that they could fight against, we finna get reparations, and ain't nothing nobody can do to stop. They can say whatever they want, they can fight with it as long as they want to, but it's only a matter of time.